It's that time of the week again. It's the Gift of Gaming podcast.
Woo!
And this week we've got genres. We're talking all about genres. But until then, intro music, do your thing. All right, it's me as your host, all reliable, Darren Wade here. And today, we're down numbers. It's just you and me, Chris. It's the PC gaming console hating Canadian himself, Christopher Robbins. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Darren. And I want a disclaimer. I don't hate console gaming.
You just despise them.
No. Like if I had my own place and I wanted to be situated on the couch and gaming, yes, console is a perfect opportunity for that. And I still love consoles. There's not much need when I have
a PC. Here's
right?
a question for you. If you were in your own place and you needed somewhere to sit, what console would you have?
Okay. I'm going to throw that one at me. Honestly, right now, it would be Xbox.
Oh, God damn it.
I know, but...
Games Pass?
Game Pass, and it links up with PCs too these days.
Is Luke paying you to be here today, Chris?
No. I've always been a big fan of Xbox, just because... I still love I love the library. I like the layout. I could bring in my old Xbox account and it would still be the same one and have my old history. And it has better apps. You can install Kodi on it, so you can make it a full-fledged media center, which is pretty dope.
Cool. I have no idea. I mean, like coding is in
Kodi.
Kodi.
As in, it's like a streaming service. It's like online. Like it scrapes all the links. But that being said, if they were to announce Bloodborne 2 tomorrow, I'd buy a PlayStation the next day.
Nice. Okay. So I know you're easily bought then.
Yeah.
Very easily bought. Nice. Well, today's programming has been slightly interrupted. We had to have a last minute change. That's why it's only me and Chris here. I hope we'll do. To all our listeners who love everybody but me and Chris, all I can say is I'm sorry. And it's just
this episode's not going to be for you.
So we had to change our programming up a little bit, and we're kind of shooting the breeze here a little bit, Chris, and we said we'd go and talk about our favorite genres over the years of video games, what kind of games you got into when we were younger. But before we get into that, Chris, what are you playing right now? How was your weekend? How are you, buddy?
Well, I'm doing all right. Weekend was spent playing video games.
Research. We call that research, Chris.
Yeah, research. Yeah, I like that. But no, lately I'm still on the Apex train, just grinding out that battle pass before the season ends, which is tonight, or tomorrow. Other than that, Steam currently has the Next Fest going on. It's been going on for the past week. And what that is just like a kind of an event for developers to showcase all their upcoming games. And there's also like all sorts of broadcasts, Q&A with developers or like streaming, and just hundreds and hundreds of demos made available. And one of these games my friend's pretty excited about is called Dark and Darker. Which is
I have never heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a first-person Diablo.
Interesting.
So like the Skyrim combat, but the Diablo loot system and menu system, but it's also a battle royale. So you're going through this dungeon, fighting off all these hordes of monsters, looting, but you also have to be wary of all the player characters in that dungeon.
And
too.
is it a solo job, or can you team up in it? Or
so this time around, because they do these demos often, and this time around they did release a solo adventure.
Cool.
Brutally difficult though. And then there's the 3-man squad like you'd see.
Classic battle royale system. Yeah.
But the other catch is it's all about loot to get stronger. But if you die in the dungeon, you'll lose everything. Back at square one. So it is brutally difficult.
And if you're into that, like, because you're a guy who plays like the Bloodborns and all those kind of real, like the aggressively hard video games. Yeah. So it's kind of up your street.
This one is a bit too punishing. I see a lot of promise, but there are some tweaks that I like quality of life that I definitely need to see made before I actually invest or even buy the game. One particular is I was doing a solo adventure and I actually made it. I bought items beforehand. Okay. And I made it through the dungeon, fought my way through hordes of goblins, killed a bunch of player characters, looted them, had a ton of loot, and the zone was closing and closing. And just because you are the last man standing doesn't mean you win.
Oh, so the hordes are still there at the end?
No. You have to find these little portals. There are these stones that you open up, and it's kind of like a town portal from Diablo. But they're random spawns.
Yeah.
And as the zone was closing, I got to the very center, and one never opened up for me. It's just like it would have been somewhere else in the zone where I would have immediately died because I had nothing.
That seems pretty broken then.
Yeah. So I was in my head. I should definitely be rewarded for being the last ones. Like it should finish up in like maybe a 3x3 circle where enough portals for everyone left would open up. You can't just kill them off. I mean, they're just going to drive away too many new players.
So it needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
but a lot of promise.
Good. Well, unlike you, I like playing baby games and easy baby games. And I recently got into, courtesy of my brother, who kindly bought it for me, Mario Odyssey for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Played it when it was cool. I went to like a Comic-Con thing a couple of years back, like the year it was being released. And there was like a Nintendo section, and they had 2 Switches out, and you could actually go and play the first couple of, like the first hour of the game. It's very cool. That was my only experience playing Odyssey, and I've heard amazing things about it. And what was cool about it is that I was playing through the first kind of level, and you're introduced to all of the new, the new systems or whatever.
The mechanics, the hat.
Exactly, yeah, trying the hat. But then you come across Captain Toad, and Captain Toad's like, yo, if you have an amiibo, you can use the amiibos and we'll give you bonus items. And I was like, well, naturally, me being me, the only amiibo I have is Luigi. And playing Mario Odyssey, the thing I'm disappointed about is that it's not a Luigi game. But I put my amiibo on it, Luigi amiibo on it, didn't think anything of it, immediately got the Luigi costume. So I can bop around Mario's Odyssey as Luigi. So my world is set. And it's I know listen, great things about it. Everyone was saying Mario's Odyssey was great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's a great game.
And it's so relaxing. I've been doing, still playing the odd game of Warzone, Call of Duty, which is stressy. It's stressy and it's can make me angry sometimes. Whereas Mario Odyssey is just like, so me, my brother comes up and the two of us just kind of go through a couple of levels, hand the controller over every time we die, kind of old school couch co-op on a 1-player game, and it's been a joy, nice and easy, and I'm looking forward to getting through the rest of it. We've only been playing. We've only done 2 worlds in it, but no, it's that classic. And what I love about it is because Mario was so, at this stage, if you've been playing Mario since you were a kid, it's so intuitive. Like all of the moves are still the same and it's still the same controls. So I was getting the backflips, I was getting the roll jumps and everything sorted out. So I was like, man, it's like I never left a Mario game. It's amazing how, it looks nicer, and there's the extra little bit of throwing the hat, and you switch Joy-Cons, have the motion thing, which is cool, but it's all the same Mario. It's all underneath, under the hood. It's the same engine, and I'm like, yep, that's all I need. Easy peasy playing.
And the best part about Mario games is, sure, playing through it might not be the most difficult thing, but there's always the
collectibles.
Collecting everything is just, especially in that game, I had to give up. I was like, I don't even know how this is done. Then I started looking at guides, and I was like, well, this doesn't count, so I just stopped.
Yeah. I'm cheating my way through this collection, so I just don't do it. So I guess Mario being kind of like a Odyssey being a 3D platformer. That I'm kind of playing. I'll use that as my segue this week, Chris, into our topic this week, which is our favorite genres of video games. And I was thinking that we'd go through kind of what we liked when we were younger in the last 10, 15 years, what we played, to kind of the genres that we're playing mostly now. Yeah. And little Chris, I'm speaking to little boy Chris here. What did you use to play, little boy Chris?
Oh man, yeah. Even if I wasn't a kid, like a decade ago, I would have easily said your standard JRPG. It's got your Final Fantasy 6, your Final Fantasy 7. Loved that open world adventure, and for whatever reason, I loved turn-based battles. And now, I'll go back and play the games for nostalgia and still enjoy myself. But I never want to play another new turn-based combat game again.
And it's funny you should say that, because that, if you'd asked me what I would have played when I was younger, my first, foray into video games was always the side-scrolling platformers, the 2D ones, the Super Mario Brothers, all that kind of stuff. But I went through this phase kind of in my late teens, early 20s of replaying the entire Final Fantasy series. So 1 up through to 10 and 12 and stuff like that. And they're not, 1 is... it's very much like a whatever year that came out game. It's very much an old JRPG game. Very, very little narrative, no real characters. You call your dude whatever the hell you want, and it's just a job system kind of game, turn-based. But it's weird in that I miss that so much in the modern day. Speaking specifically on Final Fantasies, I've really, Final Fantasy 15 was a bit of a mess. I'm looking forward to 16 to see what it's like. But its combat has evolved so much that I'm looking at 16 looks like it's a mix between, and I think someone said it's kind of like they've taken, because there's a lot of Kingdom Hearts kind of style and what's happening along with Devil May Cry, because I think the Devil May Cry team have come in, or some part of the Devil May Cry team have come in to help this. And I watched in the trailers the combat, and I'm like, looks cool, but part of me just wants, I want to make that dude a black mage, I want to make this person a red mage, the old job system, turn-based stuff. Bring that back.
Always been a big fan of the job system where your fighter is your fighter, your mage is your mage, and maybe you could switch them up, but like that's the class you've selected for them, so that's what they got to do.
Yeah,
they started losing me around like 8 when everyone could be like the strongest caster and fighter because of the junction system. Yeah. I was like, this is like, what's the point of having different characters?
Yeah.
I mean, they had different limit breaks, I guess, different weapons, but
they were all essentially do the same
really
thing.
Mattered.
Yeah. It's you know, if someone said to me, hey, they're bringing out this Final Fantasy game, or like not Final Fantasy, any kind of JRPG game, but a modern day take, like modern day graphics, but it's like that job system, and I don't want like a newfangled job system. I want like, give me the rogue, give me the monk, give me the fighter, give me in the most basic form, give me the black mage, the white mage. I'd play the absolute shit out of that now. And it's funny because as a young kid,
9 was the last one to truly do that, wasn't it?
Yeah, 9 was a mix. 9 didn't have like a job system, but everybody had their thing. Yeah. Like Vivi was the black mage, and like Dagger and Echo Rico were the kind of like the summoners / white mages. People had their and like Freya was a dragoon type thing, and none of that crossed over because it was all to do with their trances and their abilities and their. Yeah. So that was the last one probably to do it, because in Final Fantasy 10. When you played through it, you could make, because of the sphere grid, and anyone could travel anywhere. You could have Orin as the white mage if you so chose. And for people who don't know Final Fantasy 10, Orin's definitely the fighter, like 100% the fighter, like sword. Yeah, exactly. So I would play the absolute crap out of a modern day job system to turn based, which I didn't think I would, because I loved those games as a kid and I thought I outgrew them. But looking at new Final Fantasies, I can't.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, and that's why MMORPG still appeal to me, because when you make that character, you're just like dedicating yourself. Like, I'm going to be the healer, and that's just going to be my role for the next 100 hours that I play this game. So there's like a commitment to it. I kind of like that.
Because you were talking about.
I would like to get back into an MMO again, but
you were thinking 14.
But then when I really sit down and like I'm almost going to install it, I was like, I don't have the time anymore.
Yeah.
But I have a funny story about playing Final Fantasy with the job system, like Final Fantasy 1. You know how you selected your class for all the characters? So you go into the shops and you buy an item and you click on who that item goes to.
Yes.
I was like 4 years old at the time, right? So I don't really know what's going on. I didn't even know there was a menu. So I just assumed that meant that guy is now equipped. Like, you bought the sword for the fighter. So he's now equipped with the sword. And then I'd go and try to battle my way through the game, and I would still be doing like 1 damage. I was like, holy shit, this game is hard as hell. But I found out the more I leveled up my black belt, he kept doing more and more
damage. Yeah, the monk
fights one-armed. So I restarted and just made an entire team
of monks.
Of the black belts or whatever they were called in the game, and I must have got like the second crystal before I ever equipped anything. Like, I just didn't know.
And I don't know if it was broken in that game, but I made my main character was the monk in that game. And when I did my playthrough of all the Final Fantasies, I made my main character the monk, and for whatever reason, he was like OP as fuck for that game.
Well, I got the second crystal without ever equipping an item.
Yeah.
Just on a team of black.
A little bit broken. Just a little bit broken. Yeah. So, like, I mean, JRPG, turn-based strategies, what did you move on to after that? Like, where did your mind, when you fell out of love?
There's been a lot over the years. FPS, obviously. I played a lot of GoldenEye too, but like once Halo came out, I took a bit of a deep dive into FPS.
Did you ever play, because we were speaking about it on the last episode when we were talking about Rare, did you ever play Perfect Dark out of curiosity?
I did. It was a bit past my time, actually. I kind of moved on to other things. Mm-hmm. But like, I have played it a good amount, and then the multiplayer was clearly superior, but like, I grew up with GoldenEye.
Yeah, exactly. So first of its kind, you know? Yeah.
And I've gone back and tried to play Perfect Dark, because I remember we had a buddies and we found an N64 in Perfect Dark, and This was only like 4 or 5 years ago, and it does not hold up well, man. Using the C-pad to try
the C stick and the yellow C buttons, or the joystick and the yellow C buttons for strafing is a tough thing to master. The Nintendo 64 is such a as a controller is such an iconic controller, but my God, was it like in terms of design? I don't know if you could put that up there and as classed as good design at all.
Thinking
it's Nintendo. It's Goofy. That's what I mean. They've built an entire career, an entire company on Goofy.
Mental. Like there's just a section of buttons you just couldn't touch.
Couldn't reach.
Yeah,
so
what
stupid.
What's going on? Yeah, but other than that, I've always loved jumping in and out of fighting games over the years. So those are some of the I guess my honorable mentions before I get into the big heavies.
Okay.
But to this day, I had to look at my list, and it was surprising to me too, because Souls-like is a genre, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a huge, huge fan of the Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but I looked through all my Souls-like games, and I realized that I don't like that genre or subgenre that much, because they often try too hard to be Dark Souls, in which case they're just no, you got to bring something new to the table because you can't compete.
That's been done and been done very well.
Exactly. Or they just completely miss the mark. There's very few Souls-like games that I thought, well done. I'll play the shit out of this. Well, the only one I can think of at the top of my head right now is actually a game called Salt and Sanctuary, which is a mesh between another one of my absolute favorite genres, a platformer. Mm-hmm. So it's a 2D side scroller, but it's
Souls-like?
Yeah, it's Dark Souls.
Okay.
You drop your souls, you have to go back and get them. It's punishing mechanics, dodge rolls.
And 2D, is this? 2D,
yep.
Did you say?
2D
I think I can get, but see, this is the thing. I like baby games more than I like hard games, Chris. So I don't know if I could really get into that.
See, I grew up with Contra and just trying to beat Bubble Bobble. And Bubble Bobble was a baby game, but beating it was
a man's game.
Yeah, it was a commitment. But you play through Mario 3. Those games are no joke.
No. In fairness, I give myself a disservice. I think I was just caught up because we were talking about in a little intro to our last episode. We were talking about the games that we were playing, and we complimented Luke on winning Fall Guys, and I mentioned the fact that I hadn't, and you sent in a pretty stingy message into the group about saying, "Imagine not winning a Fall Guys, the baby game," And I can say it looks like a baby game, but from my perspective, it's a very difficult game, Chris. I still haven't gotten the win, and I've tried.
I mean, it is pretty stressful, and that's kind of a problem I have with battle royales in general. Is you try so hard, but in the end you're up against 59 other people, and
who definitely probably spend, and I spend a lot of time playing games, but these people definitely probably spend a lot of more time playing games than I do. So back to your side scrolling. So Souls, which I thought you would have been in for as one of your top things.
Unless it's actually made by From Software, I don't really care for the Souls and the Souls genre is kind of butchered these days. People even say Hollow Knight is Souls and I don't understand. But I had to sit back and think of the games that just I will always be interested in, and I can always be in the mood to play, and that is platformers, whether 3D or side scrolling. Mm-hmm. Some of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I still play them, and huge fan. The absolute GOAT of gaming, in my opinion, and it's something that's relatively new or picking up steam over the past couple of years. And it's roguelikes and roguelites.
So just before we go on to the platformers, what games would have made your top? What game can you keep going back to on platformers?
Current or just over the years?
I mean, over the years. I mean, or even if there's something you dip in today, what platformers? I guess, when we talk about our favorite genre being in the past or now, I think it's one of those things where either you really enjoy playing it now or you have just fond memories of playing that game from the past.
Easy.
What would it be?
So the Donkey Kong Country series is an easy, Donkey Kong Country 2 is in my top 5 favorite games of all time.
I played, because we were talking about it last week and Luke hadn't played it, and
which is crazy to me.
right. Yeah. But the interesting thing was, he's in the apartment, and I broke out the Switch and I broke out the Super Nintendo player
Emulator,
emulator, and I showed it to him. But I actually played it so far that I got to the minecart level, the first minecart level.
I remember you talking about
and
that.
it was funny that I was showing Luke, and Luke seemed interested. He was like, "Yeah, that seems pretty cool." But I could not stop. It was like that thing where I was like, "I'll just turn this on to show Luke for a little while," and an hour later, I'm like, "Gotta get to the fucking mine level." I could not put it down.
I actually played through the entire series when I was in Canada sorting out my visa.
Yeah,
I had my Switch.
That's correct.
Me.
He's here legally. Everybody, don't worry.
Just making sure everyone knows that. But no, I 100%ed all three, like Donkey Kong.
Nice,
got all the
100%
bonus levels, all the collections. Yep. Well, actually, it's 101, 102, and 103%.
Oh, excuse
Donkey
me.
Kong
Yeah, all right.
1, 2, and 3. It's really weird. I don't know why they did it that way, but yeah, huge fan of that. And obviously, another one is the Mega Man series.
Cool, because
I've beaten Mega Man 2 without dying. I played the shit on my phone. I played that game way too much.
And it's funny that that's never been, because I love platformers, but again, my platforming thing is Donkey Kong and Mario. That's where my platforming comes, and a little bit, although it was painful as hell, a little bit of Earthworm Jim, just from my youth.
Yeah.
But that was a cruel game. That was a cruel game. But yes, I can see Mega Man's such a big Nintendo character, but never pulled me. Him being I don't know anything. And I consider myself a gamer who kind of knows the gist of most iconic characters in video gaming. I haven't got a clue about Mega Man. Don't know who he is, don't know what it's all about, and sadly I think for myself I don't care for Mega Man. Don't care for
maybe it's not for everyone, which seems crazy if you love platformers that you wouldn't like Mega Man. It's
just one I never played, and that's what I mean. To say I don't care for it, I'm not saying I've never played them. I can't hate them because I've never played them, but it's never been a thing I've said to myself I should play. But you think I should play Mega Man?
I think you should definitely play Mega Man. I think it's crazy that you just haven't given it the effort. Maybe I think you would love it, but I mean, I am surprised. I was a big Sonic fan too, but there's some serious Sonic haters out there.
Well, there's also I've loved Sonic for my entire life. I've loved Sonic. I loved the old animated shows. I loved the original Sonic, like Sega Sonic.
Sega 1, 2, 3, Sonic, and Sonic and Knuckles.
But the unfortunate thing for Sonic is I think it's probably one of those video game characters that might have quite possibly the worst lineup of video games out there for them. There are some trashy Sonic games out there.
Oh, they just try to do way too much. I don't know why. And the funny thing is the best Sonic game to come out in the last few years is it's called Sonic Mania.
Mania, which is just
it's not even made by the original Sonic developers or that company. I think it was just a fan service that. Mm-hmm.
Well, they were whoever made it, they basically just took the recipe of what was the best Sonic games and just threw it back out there. Yeah. The old ones, the original ones.
Try to fix what isn't broken.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I really like when you play kind of it's not a remaster, it's its own game, but it's this real sort of thoughtfully put together. It looks great, plays great, and I think they, in fairness, because it is a remake, I think they have lots of the original levels and then new levels for Sonic Mania. There was extra levels put into it as well, but I played the absolute crap out of that because I was dying for a good Sonic game, because for years even as a kid, as a really young kid, I got Sonic Battles, I think, for the Game Boy Advance as a kid. So the other way, when you're younger, you'll play anything, good, bad. If it's a shit game, you'll see hey, it's a video game, I'll pump some hours into this because it's a video game. Yeah. Even as a really young kid, I was playing Sonic Battles being damn, 11-year-old me hates this game. This is a bad game. And then from then on, it was just there were very few good Sonic games thrown out there. But yeah, Sonic's a great show for a platformer. A tough one too. And a little bit...
Sometimes tough for the wrong reasons, because you're going so fast that you had no hope in hell of jumping over that enemy or that spike pit if you didn't know it was coming.
And I think it's in Mania, and it's probably online that you can actually do it, but I think it may be in Mania, but online you can look at the actual Google images of the maps, so you can actually zoom out and see because you're racing through it so quickly, but it's quite vertical as well as it is horizontal, and you look at the Google images of the entire map, it's an absolute maze. There's even the idea that I'm sure professional players or people who love the game know the maps off by heart, know where to go, know when to jump, but I look at those maps sometimes being this is a great work of art in itself, this map. It goes on forever. So that's platformers. Souls-like you're not into. Roguelikes,
huge fan. I just, especially with an adult schedule, they're just so accessible. You can jump in, play for 10 minutes, get a couple runs in, fail miserably, or maybe you get that God mode run in You beat it, and you're just like, yeah, I'm satisfied.
I'm deadly at video games.
I can go to bed happy now. And there's just so many options because there's like roguelike FPS, third-person shooters, platformers, card games. So there's a lot of variety out there, and they're infinitely replayable. You beat it over and over again, and there's still builds that you haven't tried.
Yeah, and what would be your top roguelike games?
I mean, Hades is definitely it's got to be top of that list, but Dead Cells, I jump back into that often.
Dead Cells Castlevania mix I saw on the Nintendo Direct. Looks like it'd be pretty cool. Is that up your street?
Yeah, I'll definitely jump in for that content. I mean, it won't be too Castlevania-y. They'll probably drop a couple skins and a couple
of skins, and it seems like a couple of tunes. Yeah, but it's still Dead Cells.
Dead Cells. Yeah. Skull the Hero Slayer, I've been playing a lot. It's a bit slower than Dead Cells, though, so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Risk of Rain 2, great game. We'll jump back into often. I'm trying to think. There's one that's on the tip of my tongue, and it's bugging me that I can't get it out.
Hold the thought, and see if it comes back to you. But if you're talking about Chris now, what's Chris now's? The today Chris, the Chris that has arrived here.
Now. Oh, sorry, that was the Chris right
roguelikes.
Now. Yeah, roguelikes are my absolute top favorite. I mean, there's some other ones there that I like. I love open world survival craft.
Okay.
Like Valheim's and the Forest and stuff like that.
Valheim is one of those ones, Chris, that I just wish I was it's funny because the concept of Valheim I love. And for those who haven't played it, it's that kind of thing where you're just put on this world. You're pretty much naked, wearing underwear, whatever else. Got to build yourself your armor, your house. Got to chop down woods. Got to save yourself from wolves and trolls. And it's one of those games I never played long enough to know what the end game was. But man, it's the PC gaming thing that killed that for me because I was I had a crappy laptop trying to play Valheim, and I remember all of us staying up quite late some nights when it first came out trying to give it a go. I had everything turned down to 0 or the lowest graphics, fidelity, all that, just so I could play the game. And all I remember was this cloudy, foggy shit show that I could not get behind.
Well, guess what, Darren?
What?
It's available on Xbox.
Oh, fuck Xbox. No, I don't mean that. I know we have a little war thing going on, but I appreciate what Xbox does. But I will not buy an Xbox for the likes of Valheim.
Yeah, fair enough.
That is not Yep. So I think for me, to talk about kind of the genres of video games that I would have played. So the reason why I suppose we're talking about this is we want to introduce a thing into the podcast that we'll do every few episodes called a genre corner, where we'll pick a specific genre. And of course, today we were kind of, you, me, and Colin was meant to come on the show for his first one. Hopefully he'll feel better soon. He'll come on for another one. And we were going to talk about Strategy games. Thank you. But I won't go into strategy games so much because I am playing a lot of that right now.
Yeah, I am.
But I'll save that.
I'm trying to avoid that.
We'll save that one.
Specifically, RTS have been a big part of my life too. So I'm just trying to.
But outside of that one, so we can actually still save that episode. So don't ruin our own content. Young Darren would have been platformers because it's kind of all we had, all we played. So Donkey Kong Country, remember on the Super Nintendo first and foremost. But then the Nintendo, which we had as well. I was quite young, not too young, but I played them later on when I was growing up a little bit.
Was Nintendo your first console?
Nintendo was my first console. So my brothers had the original Nintendo with those funky cartridges and Duck Hunt Duo, and so we had that. Then we had the Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong Country. And I'll never forget, there's a hilarious kind of home video of us. And we talked about it on the Rare episode, but Donkey Kong Country graphically was one of the greatest jumps in visual gaming I'd ever seen. But there's a hilarious home video where my dad walks in and he's recording, it's Christmas, and we've gotten Donkey Kong Country for Christmas, like my brothers had. And my two brothers are sitting on the chairs and they're watching the TV and they're playing it. And my dad comes in, he's like, "Hey guys, is it you're winning, son?" Like that classic meme. Asking my two brothers how it is, and they are enraptured by this game. They do not respond to my dad whatsoever. It's just two guys just drooling while playing this amazing looking game. So yeah, we had the Super Nintendo, but that would have been me playing Donkey Kong, and then the likes of Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3 and Super Mario World.
Yeah.
And I moved on to when I got onto the Game Boy, the Super Mario World 2, hunt for the 8 golden coins, 6 golden coins. I love those. Wario World, those kind of platformers as well.
I couldn't get into platformers on the Game Boy though. They just didn't feel right to me. It never did.
That was my bread and butter as a kid growing up because the Game Boy Pocket was the first thing that I ever owned myself, and then the Game Boy Color. And I mean playing I think it's one of those things when we talk about our favorite games, I think for me it would at least have to make an honorable mention, and I say that now, but I can't even think of the actual full title, but I think it's like Super Mario Brothers 2,
I think
6
Super
golden
Mario
coins.
Land, wasn't it?
Super Mario Land 2. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, the 8 golden coins, whatever it was. And that one's really interesting because it's got all of the enemies and the baddies in it. They're not your Goombas, your Koopas. All of that was kind of scrapped. It's kind of a different vibe of Mario. Yeah. Love that game. I absolutely 100% of that game as a kid. Really easy.
Okay.
Loved it. And Super Mario Land 1 as well, but that was a lot, like that was graphically and everything like that. That's a good step back again. It was like the early days of the Game Boy and stuff. So for me, platformers growing up, I think when I was a bit older as well, like, I got into Final Fantasy like my brothers, that, as we said at the start of the show, give me turn-based combat in a JRPG setting any day of the week. Job system, I'm in.
I would run around in circles for hours, leveling up with random battles, which is also
I loved it. And random battles now is a thing whereby I want to love it, but I have such little time in my life as an adult, unfortunately, that I can't afford random battles.
No.
If I can switch that shit off, I need to switch it off.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect.
Moogle Charm, Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah. Whatever keeps me safe. But that's the nice thing about playing. Like, I'm touching into Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch at the minute, and that has the option to kind of no battles. You can tap L3
really?
and R3. Yeah, I think you tap L3 and R3. Well, it's not L3 and R3 on the Switch. Those two sticks, you tap the two of them in, and no battle mode. So you can run around, no battles. Now, again, I feel like I'm cheating when I'm playing like that, but I'm also a little bit older, so I don't have the time to go into a million random battles.
And you've done it before.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it all. So love that about those versions of those games now is a great thing to be able to play my old favorites, but with my adult time is great. And I'm glad they still do that, and it's still a genre that means a lot to me, a genre that I'll play a lot. It's always going to be the JRPGs, battle systems, random battles, and the turn-based combat. And like, I crave that even now. Like, I'm playing Triangle Strategy still at the minute, going through that. And
so, those turn-based in that sense is a little different because the turns are a lot more engaging than just going through a menu and clicking attack.
Exactly. And like, it's so strategic. And I think my older brain that enjoys playing the likes of chess and things like that loves these sort of things. And every move you make counts, as opposed to just tapping the attack button until the monster's dead. And
I mean, the same thing could be said about games like Civ. Like, technically they're turn-based, but like the turns are a lot more engaging and fun.
And thank you for bringing up Civ, because that'll segue us right into my next genre of games that I'm mad about. Is those, I mean, would you class it as a simulator? Would you class it as a...
I think the name is 4X now. Not really sure.
The name of the genre is 4X?
Yeah, 4X. I'm not sure why, but I think that's what they're calling them these days. But I would say, like,
so if anybody
simulation
knows
strategy.
Yes, if anyone knows the true name of those simulation games, you can tell us at thegiftofgamingpodcast@gmail.com. It's been a while since I brought that up, actually, that we still have an email address. And I'd like to say we've got social media, but I can't get off my arse and do that. But I will, Chris. I promise you I will. I'll develop them someday.
Speaking of not having the time for stuff, social media.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that bit. So the likes of Civ, those kind of... So Civ might be a bit different, but like, man, I pumped hours into Civ and like Civilization, those games where you start off, in medieval times or Stone Age times, and you build, is it your civilization, your character, whatever else, you build them through all these ages. I can't get enough of that shit, man. Cannot get enough. And my favorite is always the early games. Like when you're
big time.
When you're swinging stones from your sling and all that. Like, I love that. And Civilization was one of those games that I pumped hours into. And our good friend Kev over in New Zealand, me and him, when he was living here, we would do a LAN party. We'd have two screens beside each other and play LAN parties of Civ. Yeah, oh man, hours. We real funny kind of story was that when he was coming home from New Zealand a while ago, when COVID was really in full flow, he had to come back and obviously isolate for 2 weeks, and he wanted to do it away from his family, and it was looking at they had
down in Ruski.
Down in Ruski, yeah. So he had a family home down in Ruski, and we went down in Ruski to Ruski and Roscommon, and we sat there for like 2 weeks to play loads of video games. Weather was like, it was freezing cold and everything, so it was real nice just to sit there and play video games. And I remember playing Civilization, and it's one of those things, I don't get these memories as much now as I do as a kid, these gaming moments that I loved. But in that Civilization game, I based my entire strategy on religion. I'm not an overly religious person at all, but I was like, religion, that's what's going to win me this war. And I said a religion called Ruskiism. And Chris, I took over the entire, like we got a religious win pretty much done and dusted in that one as well. So that kind of all-in simulation kind of game I love. One of my favorite memories as a kid was I used to play the absolute shit out of Theme Hospital, but not the full game. We never had the full game of Theme Hospital. So Theme Hospital is one where you just...
Theme Hospital?
Yeah. So you build a hospital, but it's kind of cartoony. So you build a hospital, and the whole idea is that you're building certain researching treatments and building treatments for like these mad ailments. So none of these ailments are real. There's like someone's invisible and they can't make themselves visible anymore. So you've got to research a drink that'll make them visible. People had like big head syndrome, and it wasn't as if they were cocky. They just had a massive like balloon-sized head. And the animation was hilarious because you'd research this room and put like loads of money and time into researching this treatment for, you know, destroying, or like not destroying, but like helping big head syndrome. And all they did was take a little pin and pop your head and then stick into an inflatable thing and inflate you a new head that was the normal size. Like, so it was real cartoony, but we never had the full game. We just had a demo. So you got maybe 30 minutes in the demo before it just timed you out. And we had it on a demo disc, and for the PlayStation, the old demo discs, they'd load up, and like this might have been demo disc 18 or something. They were all numbered. And Demo Disc 18 had a couple of games on it, but in the old demos, the menu would come up and you would just scroll through just whatever demos there were. There might have been 12 demos. I played Theme Hospital so much that disc broke that you couldn't actually see. Like when you turned it on, it was just a black screen, but you could hear yourself scrolling through the menu. I had it off by heart that I would turn that game on, scroll 7 times to the left, pick Theme Hospital, and then play the 40 minutes of Theme Hospital. But that kind of like theme park world, Theme Hospital, city skylines, Civ, I guess, kind of falls into that. And when I was younger, The Sims, man, fuck, I could spend hours building a house in The Sims, you know?
See, I missed the whole Sims phase. Never really got into The Sims. I did play a lot of Sim City when I was a kid, though. I love that. I'd build a big city and then just try to get Godzilla to come and destroy it all.
I never played that, but that sounds great though. Yeah. So like simulator games really did it for me. I don't know if I could like the likes of there's God, what's it? I do have it on the Switch actually, and there's a new. It's basically Theme Hospital. God, if anyone's out there knows what I'm talking about, it's basically Theme Hospital but on a Switch. Campus Hospital, or Campus Hospital. Just hit us up on the email address and tell me how wrong I am. That's all I need you to do, okay? But that one is like a modern day Theme Hospital, same kind of style, same kind of ailments. I don't know if it's the creators that made Theme Hospital, but it's definitely a rip. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole style of it's the same. And they do like a wizarding campus, they do like a school campus. They've loads of these different kind of versions of the game. And I was playing that and I loved it, but those don't grab me like they did when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh man, I could spend ages just building my own hospital and treating these people for. And the thing about it is when you cured enough patients, and like half your hospital might not be built, because that was the way those games moved. Is that once you cured enough patients, you could just move on to the next hospital. I never did. I was like, no, I must cure everybody. They're like this hospital must be the cleanest, best run. I must have the best doctors. And sometimes when I had it full, I would like. You could hire different doctors. So every now and again, you go into the hiring menu and you can have a look at the doctors, the nurses, the psychiatrists, the janitors that were available. And I used to go and pick this like 1-star doctor. It's like, and the descriptions would be amazing. It was like, smells like cabbage, is very rude, all this type of stuff. And I'd pick that person and be like, okay, whoever comes in the back entrance of the hospital is getting the worst service they can. But I got lost in this world where I was like, oh, here comes an invisible man in the back entrance of the hospital. He's going to get the worst service of his life. Like, that's how I played that game, you know? So, yeah, I grew out of Sims. And now for me, at the minute, current Darren is playing nothing but kind of open world action adventure games with good narratives. I need, for me to play video games and to put 40, 50 hours into a video game, I need a story to hook me.
Yeah, see, this is where the divide between us really shows. Whereas I don't care for narrative in a game, at all. Like I'd rather just read a book or watch a movie. I need that 15-minute fix or maybe a couple hour fix. Just get in, play some game, get out. And another thing I've realized over the past couple of years is I actually hate open world.
So
I find the whole concept of it like
exhausting.
I thought I loved it, but I just want to do everything. I want to explore every corner, and then I just get burnt out, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and it's a funny one that I still haven't played yet. I have it. I have the box. I bought a hard copy of it, not a digital copy. It was Ghost of Tsushima, but at the time I was getting ready to play Ghost of Tsushima, I had platinumed Horizon, the first one. And the second,
yeah, you can't play those back to back.
yeah, but the second Horizon was coming out, and I just started playing Ghost of Tsushima, and I just could not get into another open world game. Couldn't do it. I was like, but I got to play Forbidden West, and I can't be drained of my open world. But it's one of those things that I definitely get tired.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that overexposure to that I have to go into all of these little symbols on my map and complete whatever the hell is there. It's like the one of my favorite thing that they talk about in The Witcher was that one of the most famous Witcher quests is like deliver the frying pan to the lady. It's like it's pointless, dumb shit. But man, I'll still go and do it. I'll still go and find the frying pan, like, you know?
Yeah, that was, I couldn't finish Cyberpunk because I just tried to do all the quests and I burnt out.
Exhausting.
Like, I maybe did 10% of the main quest and I wasted all my time on these nobodies that, like, just didn't matter. You'd never see again.
Yeah, and I think for me now, the idea of, and that's why the narrative is so important to me, because the likes of Horizon Forbidden West and the new God of War game, the side quests in them had meat to them. They had a story. They had something else that was worth. I wasn't just doing stuff for the sake of just doing stuff. Like, it wasn't just filler. Don't get me wrong. There were still like silly quests for like, oh, kill the monsters because I can't go there. And you're like, kill the monsters, and there's no real meaning behind it. But modern AAA games, I think, are getting better in the open world genre to be like, no, there's a reason you're doing this side quest. Like, you know, and the great thing about Forbidden West was that all those characters that I did the side quest things, they were there at the end. Like, you completed that mission. If you didn't, they wouldn't be there at the end to have. And it might only be like a piece of dialogue that you have together. That's like, oh, cool. But that was enough for me to go do those side quests because they came full circle and it had a meaning to it. But man, you could not get me playing. It's why I struggled so much playing Cyberpunk now, is that I go into the side quest, and unfortunately I think, you know, like so many other open world games, is the times where I'm feeling like I'm doing these side quests and they're literally just there to make me, okay, loot. I might get a better gun, or I might get a better whatever else. That's not enough for me at my age now. I like, no, I need to know this person that I'm doing this for. They need to say something important to me. What I'm doing here is some sort of relevance to the story. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm wasting time. But yeah, open world games are... I love action adventure, but the open world is beginning to tire me a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you.
So if there's it's a silly question, maybe it doesn't work, but if you could mix two genres of video games together, what would you...
Ooh, okay. I'm just going to kind of spitball here. But I would like to see, and I think this is the direction they're kind of progressing in, but kind of like an MMO styled like fighting game where you can design and take your own character with your own style. And this is what I think they're trying to lean towards with Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, it's a bit
more
more
that exploration mode, even though that's only single player. I want to see something like that, but multiplayer, where you can like actually go on, you know, street fighting
like
with your character.
I guess throwing the MMO title or type of genre onto any kind of game kind of makes it a bit of an interesting concept, like, you know. Although an MMO building simulator would probably be an absolute fucking mess of just people building stuff in your way. You know,
I'm sure there's like massive Minecraft servers out there that host
I only watched. I was scrolling through just like YouTube algorithms, and I came across this dude who was talking about his Minecraft server, and he's basically recreated planet Earth essentially. So he's got all the continents and everything on it, and he's rebuilding all them, and like he gives the invite out to people to come in and play on it. Really? So he was like, oh, I found two people who were like trying to mine, so I gave them a minecart and helped them build, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But Minecraft for me is a ship that sailed for me along. I got a lot of fun out of Minecraft years ago. I could not play that game now.
Even when I go back and play it, I do the exact same thing I always do. Punch a tree, dig directly down, and start mining diamonds.
Yeah. That's me. And then once you have enough, like that's all I want.
Yeah.
So I guess.
What about you? What are the two genres that you'd like to see?
I like the idea, and I guess it's probably already been done in some form of side-scrolling platformers, but I'm a big fan of like the Celeste style of artwork of a side-scroller, but mixed with like that job system from an RPG kind of game. And I suppose they have that, but I'd like to have like, I think I'd like to mix, and again, those kind of games probably exist, but I'd like to have a team, you know, a team of like 5-6 people. Each of them have very specific jobs to do, mages or whatever you want, miners, crafters, whatever jobs you want to give them, and go through these side-scrolling platform levels that I can finish it with anybody, but each way I finish the level is different based on the person's job who I've picked in the style of Celeste.
And this is like multiplayer?
I think that could be a lot of fun. Like that'd be an even
because games like this, what you're describing, how I think you're describing it, definitely do exist in the PC gaming world.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's foreign to me, Chris. But that'd be a fun multiplayer game too. Like even like a speedrunners who can finish the level first, but you can only take a certain route based on the job that you've picked. Something like that. I'm just obsessed with that job system. It's a thing that's never left me. And if I were ever to design my own game, I would have to have a job system in there. Like have these people have a particular task that you level up as you go through the game.
This guy can only do. He's the only one that can pick this lock.
There was this excellent game called Project Eden, Chris, on the PlayStation 2. Kind of an really old, janky game now for you to play it. But you had 4 characters in it. One was a hacker, one was an engineer, one was a robot who could I guess. I can't remember what the robot's job did. They were robots, so they probably had specific jobs. I can't remember. But one guy who was the team leader, his job was to open doors. That was it. He just opened doors.
Oh,
Project Eden. And
this is ringing a bell. Yeah. I played it with
I played it with my 2 brothers and a mate of ours. And we always played it. And my middle brother was like, "Oh, I'm going to play as Carter. Like he's the leader. He'll be the cool guy." So I ended up picking Andre, the engineer, and like my little mini games for doing the engineering parts were a lot of fun. And then when Graham realized he had picked the door opener, he was devastated, and the rest of us didn't want to give up our jobs. So I was like, no, you pick the team leader. You can open the doors. Like that's your one and only role. So that was a good one too, like an interesting take on like certain jobs, but you needed it collectively. So like you couldn't finish the level with just one of them. You had to have all 4 people. So, and it was only worth playing as a multiplayer.
So could you even play it alone?
You can play it alone, but you would like on the D-pad, you would do up, down, left, or right would switch you to a different character to do whatever job. Yeah.
But that just sounds kind of
boring.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, it's a game I wish because it's so old, and when we played it on the PlayStation 2, we got to the last boss, but there was so much happening on the screen that the game always froze on us. We never finished it. And it's a game I would like. Maybe it's not a great game, but if they remastered that and I could play it again and finish it, it's a game I'd always go back to revisit. And I could be the nostalgia speaking, but I absolutely loved the crap out of that game. It was great. So those are our genres, our favorite genres. If you're listening, if you agree with us, if you hate our genres, if you love our genres, or if you've got genres of your own that you want to tell us a little story about, you can email us at thegiftofgamingpodcast@gmail.com. Chris, we did it. Just you and me. The OGs flying, not solo, but just without the third wheel. Yeah, a real date. It's been a real date, Chris.
The perfect for this time of the year. It's almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, buddy. Well, listen, thanks Mil for coming on. And like I said, listeners out there, let us know what genres you liked. Email us. Let us know on the Twitter and the YouTube and the Facebook that doesn't exist yet, but will at some point, I promise you. It's been The Gift of Gaming, guys. And Chris, thanks a mil for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And for our listeners out there, keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Until next week, bye-bye.